about 5:30 in the morning, and I got to be over there to test at 6, so I'm about to go crawling Kayla's truck. None of my other classmates have made it on their first try. This is my first attempt this morning. We'll see what happens. So like wish me luck, right? Seriously though, love you guys so much. I miss you. Believe me, if I pass this test, I'm headed your way to hug every one of you. Mwah! Hey guys, just wanted to give you guys an update. I guess I'm in my car and I'm headed home. It's Monday the 27th, and I've been on the road for almost 2 hours now. I got a 7-hour drive back to Kentucky. I'm really in a hurry to see all my family and see my son and my granddaughters, to see everyone. So a lot has happened in the last few days. I'm paying attention, I promise. I got back from being over the road, and showed y'all that room, and then me and my trainer got another room and all that good stuff. And we practiced. We didn't back up until we started backing up with the points on the pad. Okay? Yeah, everything is shaking. This road. And everything was going smoothly. I was getting the straight backing, the pull-offs, the parallel, and it came to the alley duck, which is the hardest backing maneuver. And we spent, I think, 4 hours on the pad, and I couldn't get it. And I was getting really discouraged, and I think so was Kayla. So we went out the next day to the pad, and we had 2 reservations, which they canceled on us. We did get pad time because we just went out there and found one that was empty, and we used it. And I got the alley dock once in those hours, and I think that was a fluke because I couldn't duplicate it and couldn't do it again. So then I met Alan, who is a trainer there all the time. You'll see him on the pad. He's a super, super nice guy and will help anyone. And he really let us watch one of his students do an alley dock over and over. So I know she was tired that night, but I really wanted to get it, and I was supposed to test Saturday. So we went to inside the Millennium Building. We grabbed something to eat, and I said, let's just see if what he said will work. Let me see if I can do it with his points. And I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and I still couldn't get it. Now, I don't know what the problem is. So, and she's like, no, your tires need to be here, and this needs to happen, and what you're doing here. And I'm like, it's not helping me, though. I don't know what to do in this cab to get this alley dock done. I need the points. So I asked her to do it, but do it with the points, and if it works for her, then I know it'll work for me. And that I just need some kind of accomplishment, knowing that it can be done. And she gets in the car, and she's trying, and she's trying, and she's trying, and you can tell she's getting more aggravated and more aggravated. You can hear the brakes, you can hear the gas. She pulls in and pulls out, and pulls in and pulls out. She finally gets out again to look, and I walk over and say, you want to just call it a night, because now I think we're both spent. It's like 11 o'clock. We've been out here most of the day. And she's like, no, you need points, well, I'm going to give you points. I'm like, okay. She gets back in the truck, and she's trying, and I don't know how to help her help me, right? And other guys out there who was training on the pad. There's like 12 pads I think you can test on or practice on. So I walked over across the way and met this really super trainer, super great guy, Antonio, and his student. And I said, you know, I just can't get it. And I was like, if you could give me your points, how you do it, then maybe we can try again, you know. And he's like, he thought my student was over there. I said, no, I'm the student, that's my trainer. She's also trying to get it with the points to teach me how to do it. And he said, you know, give me a couple minutes and I'll come on over. And I'm like, okay. I meant no better way to do it, I suppose. And this guy was super nice, and he did it. He walked her through it, and he did it himself. He helped me. We all agreed to come back the next day, and all 4 of us were going to do it. This had been Saturday. I was a little disappointed I wasn't testing, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I'm not ready. So we put it off till Sunday, and we got back out there. Well, me and her, both of us, I think, got our feelings hurt. I think I trampled on her ego a little bit by getting another trainer, and I just wasn't getting it. So I know she was aggravated, and I was aggravated, and I just, you know, both of us, our goal is to get this test done. Well, by the end of the night, we weren't necessarily talking to one another, and I think we were just tired and frustrated. And the next day came out, and I wasn't supposed to meet them till 7, but I know I needed help. I needed extra help, and there was no way I was going to sit around all day. I mean, I had to get this down to test. So I went out there to that pad by myself, and I talked to a couple people. I tried to do the coupling, which I was a little rusty on at the pre-trip. I had somebody really explain each part of the coupling so I could get that down. So I worked on pre-trip, and then I went out there, and there was another trainer. He goes by Tommy, but his name is Haddam, and he was also fantastic. Even before I had a trainer, he was helping me try to get a trainer, and he even let me piggyback with his student on his truck. He was the one I got and drove the truck for the first time. He's very laid back. He was super cool too. And I saw him out there, and I was just gonna hang with him, talk a few minutes, and watch his student and explain my kind of situation, and any extra help, you know, that I am eager to learn and willing, you know. And I put in the work with them the rest of the day, like a few hours. His student would do it, and his student would do it. Then his student was teaching me how to alley dock, and then I was using his truck to alley dock. And I think just having that second person really, really helped me out a lot. And then Antonio came back out there with his student, with Kayla. I think they got there about 7:30, and the rest of the night, Antonio was just as great. And let's do this, let's do that, let's shorten the gap until I got it. And he's like, well, if you get it this time, I'm going to get you a hat. And nothing motivates me like a good challenge. And I got it. He's like, oh, I owe you a hat. Let's go up to a t-shirt. And I did it again. He's like, all right, let's go up to a sweatshirt. And I'm like, woo, I've got a sweatshirt. And you know, he was true to his word. And he's like, I should come back out here and watch you test. And I'm like, oh, if you want to, you know, you go ahead and watch me test. Then I said, no, you sleep. I mean, now it's just, you know, so many people jumped in to help. I mean, I think Prime is fantastic. I really, really do. And I know I wasn't your average student. And I'm one of those types of people that I over-prepare for things, so I overthink it. I have to over-memorize it. That's where I get that confidence from. And so 5:30 in the morning, I get up, I knock on the door, and get Kayla up and get her motivated. And we're going to test, and I see Patrick, which was his student, and then Antonio was there, and they did it just out of the goodness of their hearts to come out to support me and Kayla while I'm testing. I was the first 4 to test, and I'm so nervous, I feel sick. Like literally, I could have thrown up and probably felt a lot better. But I now had Tom as my examiner, and he was super chill, and it was good. It was good. He's like, well, you're the lucky one today to draw the full truck, and so for the pre-trip, you can get different parts. You'll always like get I think the engine and the end cap, but you might get the coupling, you might get the trailer. No, I drew the whole thing. Fantastic. I said, why don't you just give me an alley dock while we're at it? If we're going to do this the hard way, then do it the hard way. But I didn't get alley dock, so 3 days I spent just on alley dock. Now I didn't even get it, I got parallel. However, we didn't practice the air brake test with the chocks on, so I got lost. The examiner actually had to tell me I got to remove the chocks for this to work. And I ended up stepping on the gas pedal, which threw me. And then I noticed my mind started going blank and started going blank. And really, I'm worried about the alley dock, because you have to pass your pre-trip. Once you pass your pre-trip, you do your back-end maneuvers. So he gave me the right side offset. About halfway through, I did good. Like the first, putting my wheel, the first step, backing up, putting my tires on the line. And I thought, because I got that was no problem. And went back to look. Oh, it lined up great. Everything was fantastic. I got back in the truck, put it in reverse, put the brakes on, looked back, and lost my entire train of thought. I had no idea what to do next, and I could not, and I sat there and sat there and sat there. It's like, I have 15 minutes to do this back-end maneuver. I have one shot to do it, or I fail the entire test, and I cannot remember what to do next. So I winged it, and luckily I got it. I got it, everything was good, beat the horn, good. Then I got the parallel park. You think, how do you parallel park a semi? Actually, it's kind of easy. It's kind of easy. It's just like you're all set. You're just putting in a little tighter box. You just don't pull up as far, you're fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's actually so much easier than the alley dock. But again, I got the parallel park. I forgot how to do it. 47, getting older, I don't know. Certainly did. One of the easiest things to do, and I forgot it. I went too far at one point. I hit the cone twice, got beeped at, or got whistled, so I lost a couple points there. And then by that time I was so flustered, I was just going to wing it. And so I pulled up a little bit. I got, because you get a couple pull-ups, and you get a few little cheats. So I did that and took a good look and thought, I can do this. And I just made sure I missed the cone and backed it in the box. And I should have got out to look to make sure it was all in the box. And I was so flustered by the time I thought I had it in the box, I just pulled the brakes, put it neutral, sounded the horn, and he started walking around. Oh, I know it got me. When I tried to back up the second time from pulling up, I pushed in the brakes and thought I pushed in both the emergency, the parking brake, and the trailer brake. I ended up just pressing the the tractor brake, so my trailer brake was still on. And when I went to back up, you heard it, because the trailer wouldn't move. And I looked at him like, did I fail? I probably failed. I failed, and that's what lost my train of thought. And then but you know what? I only lost the three whistles, 3 points. So, and then we did the road test. That's fairly easy. Just you did the highway, you lane change. You're gonna do emergency stop on one of the roads. I got a point for that because I turned my turn signal on. I pulled over. Then I turned my turn signal off and turned on my four-ways before I came to a stop. And I should have turned on my four-ways after I came to a stop. I had no idea about that. I didn't know that. But that was okay. All of my scores were pretty high. I passed. I did good. I trifected. I did it on the first time around. Ooh, looky. Hold on. So I got my official prime. That's way too big. Oh, I see now because I can do it like that. See, reefer division. I don't know if you can see that, but yep, reefer. So I got my hat. I do like my hats. Oh, so now I'm about to St. Louis. We celebrated. I'm gonna put in a picture. I mean, we all got together, both Antonio and Tommy, Eddie, his student, and Patrick, Antonio's student, and me and Kayla. All went out to Applebee's and had dinner, and then we hung out for a little while, and it was good just to have some downtime because we've been working our butts off. I know I have for a month, just from start to finish to get to this point. So today I got my official badge, my official hire date, which was July 27th. I didn't think I was officially hired, but it says for official start date July 27th. So then I ran into a kink. I'm gonna say this real quick and then I'll exit because I know it's like 15 minutes long. For you girls, I know my recruiter Donald Bell told me if your name has changed from your birth certificate to your license right now, I thought they would get me at the beginning. Because I had my marriage certificate, but I've been married 3 times. So I've got 2 more marriage licenses, and I got to find over 20 some odd years ago. Okay? But I went right on through with orientation and got my permit. Everything was fine. And I thought, well, my recruiter was just being overly cautious. So today I go to the DMV to get my license, the real one, not the permit. And got that taken care of. Went to the TWIC office, and that's Homeland Security. So if you're driving, you can get into high security places like airports and whatnot to deliver. Now if you've got a passport, you're good. I don't. So I went to the TWIC office to do this, and I went to the DMV first. Don't. You go to the TWIC office first, then you can go get your license down at the DMV. Nobody really told me that either. Thank God. That's awful. I'm sorry. So I couldn't get my TWIC card done. And I only have 1 marriage. Well, they want the whole thing. They want to know why it was my maiden name years ago, and now, this is my last name. How did it get to that, And I'm like, crap. So, ladies, something else you do, because, we got to change all our shit for a man, and you end up paying for it like this shit, right? But it doesn't matter. So, I'm going to try to get that done. This is Monday, and she's picking me up on Friday. Kayla is. And then we're going to start the TNT phase of the 30,000 miles. She's going to pick me up in Kentucky, so I'm taking my car home. There's no sense me leaving it there and letting it sit for, a month and a half. Hell, it won't even start by the time I get back. So I'll let you know how that little snag goes. Yep. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I'll let you know how that little snag goes. Because either I can get my passport, then I don't need all those papers. If not, I got to get all that stuff from these different counties where I was married in my 20s. Here I'm almost 50. I mean, seriously. But whatever. All right, we'll see what happens. So, we did it, guys. If you've been watching me since back in July, yeah, we did it. We did it. Bye, guys.